money, when it's not saving, be liking my flavor, I think it's cause. Call the rest, watch out for us. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist,
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, we've got two NFC West teams here. Your assessment of the state of the division coming into 2019, is it the Rams to lose?
We saw the changing of the guard with the Rams taking over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. But Seattle got back in the game pretty fast, didn't they? You remember preseason last year? It was doom and gloom. End up in the playoffs. Arizona, they're kind of hitting the reset button. It's San Francisco to keep your eye on. With good health, good drafts, they could be the team that can really contend.
Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to get a peek at Russell Wilson, quarterback bringing out the Seattle Seahawks offense. Week 6, 4-point victory over Cleveland. Russell Wilson was 5 yards shy at 300 at 295, and also 2 touchdown passes. He continues to do his thing in 2019.
14 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions on the year. And I love how you said, let's get a peek at him. You and I both know, both eyes are wide open when Russell Wilson is on the field. And that game against Cleveland, he and the Seattle offense, they were really challenged, weren't they? The lead kept going back and forth. He led the late drive to get the win on the road.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Alert flare.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Carson, who is a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, has picked up the pace this year after a slow start. 3 straight 100-yard games. Most recently, Week 6, 124 yards in the game-winning score in the 4-point win over Cleveland on the road. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right, and now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. And here is the Cardinal defense.
Safety DJ Swearinger brings not just athletic ability to the field, he also brings a strong belief that he can get to the football on every snap. An absolutely fierce hitter, you can feel his intensity even when you're sitting down and having a meeting with him prior to the game.
Grenade! I got you, pop.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to take off with it. And he'll avoid the the tackle there with a slide. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is Carson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They go read option with Wilson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from the defensive side. They're coming off the field gassed right away. We're in the first drive of the game. So it's not just what happened, but think of the emotion you carry into a game, then double it with getting a 10-play drive put on you and points scored. They're pretty tired right now.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. out as the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. 22-year-old rookie QB Kyler Murray getting ready to see him and his Cardinals offense on a 2-game win streak after defeating Atlanta 34-33 Week 6. And Murray, the third rookie with 300 or more passing yards in 3 of his first 6 NFL games, joining Cam Newton and Andrew Luck.
And remember, he's part of a grand experiment in Arizona. The hiring of Cliff Kingsbury and his air raid offense. Kyler Murray going number 1 overall, despite the fact many thought other quarterbacks could have gone in that spot. And so far, after a rough start, you have to like what you're seeing. They are starting to fashion together some very good offense, and I think this team's playing with more confidence now. And
Murray, no interceptions the last 2 weeks after throwing 4 through the first 4 weeks. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, 2nd-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Watch the safety creep.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And the catch made by Johnson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Seattle's offense takes the field again. It's an offense that has been humming in 2019. They've scored at least 21 points in every game. They've also liked playing the AFC North. Week 6 with that win over the Browns, that makes them 3-0 against the division. And they're going for the sweep of the division in Week 7 when they host Baltimore.
Almost sounds like college football, doesn't it? When you beat teams within your state and you say state champs, even if you're not in the same division or in the same conference. But I love this start. Their best start since 2013 at 5-1. Before their 5 wins have been by 4 points or fewer. Some people may view that as a negative. I view it as a positive. This is a mentally tough football team.
And the upcoming schedule, we mentioned the Baltimore game, then at Atlanta, home for Tampa Bay before the big one at San Fran. Now that catch certainly easier than the one Tyler Lockett made in the back left corner of the end zone in the Thursday night win over the Rams in Week 5. My goodness, that was incredible. In fact, the advanced metrics called it the most improbable catch in the NFL in the last 2 years, and if for some reason you missed it, look it up. Pretty impressive. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
On 3rd down. It's Carson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You ain't got nothing.
They run it with Carson. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 3rd down, Wilson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Myers' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Arizona ready to get the football back. I want to revisit that Week 6 win over Atlanta because we mentioned it was 34-33. What we did not mention is they got a little assist from Matt Bryant, who missed the extra point, and that got the Cardinals to 2-3-1.
You don't see Matt Bryant miss extra points. He is so dependable. Remember, they brought him back this year as a kicker after trying some other people. But how about this for the Cardinals? First win at home since October 28th of last year. First time with consecutive wins since December of 2017. I do believe they're moving in the right direction. Are they contenders this year? The answer to me is still no. But with what they've put together with this roster, the controversial choice at head coach, I like where they're headed right now.
Yeah, because the 2 straight wins have been over Cincinnati and Atlanta, but now they're 2-3-1, and all of a sudden people are saying, maybe they are decent.
And don't forget, many people thought Cincinnati and Atlanta would beat them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant, watch the slant, watch the slant.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
They're not ready for this. They still playing sorry.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now it's Carson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here's the line. Here's the line. 32. Single receiver.
Throwing is Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They go play action with Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Play action. It's Wilson. Open man, it's Madden. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
58.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Going quickly out wide to Moore. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts all year. Won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
Look at the 43.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 10.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Wilson will throw again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Corey Peters slipping in and getting the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. Back deep, the dangerous Pharaoh Cooper. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 36-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, 1st down. Well, Larry Fitzgerald, the catch, back on September 29th, moved into 2nd place all-time in receptions in NFL history with catch number 1326 past Tony Gonzalez.
Is that 1,326 catches? That's phenomenal. And Tony Gonzalez just went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this last year. So you know you're moving into rare territory. And for a long time, we thought that Jerry Rice's record was unapproachable. But Larry Fitzgerald continues to play. And he's actually approaching pretty fast, still a couple hundred away. But as you say now, not impossible, because he seems to enjoy playing football. It looks like he's going to stay around for a while.
Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray, he may try and run for this. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. His throw incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wilson operating from the gun. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain of 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So after 2 1st downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On third down, Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 33.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, down at the 33. From the gun, Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On second down, it's Carson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time it's 3rd and 3. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Check, 43. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They keep it with Penny on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
And now let's look at David Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason, there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarterback. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. It's Logan. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's nearing 100 yards.
And haven't we gotten pretty close in this game nowadays in the NFL to almost taking labels off of the tight end position? These guys now can be the #1 option in an offense, and that never used to be the case. So now how do you even match up with them? Cornerback, safety, linebacker, all 3 will have deficiencies against the best tight ends in the game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Blitz.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. He's got Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I'm going to get you all day, baby.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Throwing again here, Wilson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. First down, Murray. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first. Well, the 11-time Pro Bowler Larry Fitzgerald still has it. His production did take a dip last year on the heels of 3 straight 1,000-yard campaigns. He's in the back half of his 30s now. What a career it's been. Coming into this year, over 1,300 receptions, 116 of those for touchdowns, and second only to Jerry Rice in career receiving yards. Pretty spectacular. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Johnson's got it complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of that. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Taking it in from 2 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And it's 17-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 17.
5 plays there on that drive. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now Wilson on first down, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Second and 10, it's Wilson again, and he finds Penny, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Check, 43. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On first down, Wilson, incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
43 in the mic. Stop your whining.
Wilson throwing again. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 28. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Hey,
let's get that ball, Let's get that ball right here.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. That's caught by Penny. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw again is Wilson. Rolling to his right. Touchdown, Seahawks.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense.
Hey, watch it.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Cut.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's fourth.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they start the second half with Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona.
Let's go. Do it.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's what is really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Underneath pass here to Van Ness. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Carson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
here. That's what I do.
They run again with Carson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
45. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me.
On first down, Carson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Safety's creeping.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Kyler Murray, 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback in his Heisman campaign at Oklahoma. He's got the first down. Well, we know that Murray can run the football. He rushed for 1,000 yards during his final year at Oklahoma, better than 7 yards per carry. And Cliff Kingsbury says, I trust him running the football. This is a guy that has known his quarterback since 2012 when Murray was a sophomore in high school. Kingsbury was in the OC at Texas A&M. He would go on to take the Texas Tech job, but the two maintained a great relationship. Both are from Texas, both quarterbacks, and both with fathers heavily involved in their football careers. With Cliff Kingsbury, he trusts his quarterback implicitly. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Shut up. Let's get off the field.
2nd down. Here's an option right. Murray fighting. Lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson, and Dixon has it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Rip left.
From the shotgun, Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson's pass complete to Van Ness, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Wilson now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Wilson will throw again. It's caught. Lockett. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Fine, 90. Max 43. You got nothing today. You got
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone, but sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 24. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
Seattle Seahawks are playing great. Who thinks they will bring home the victory?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They go to Johnson again. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check, 43. Here we go.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Wilson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's first and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
I don't think you got it, son.
They go play action with Wilson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They run the counter. Carson. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 2 now, second and goal.
It's a party now.
He'll find Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will extend this big lead. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Murray now on 1st down. This complete to the tight end Clay. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Murray. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Murray now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Again, it's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 1st down, Murray. That's complete to Butler. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Let's go now. Henry. Here we go. Here we go. Watch twist. Watch the twist. Set.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. Screen play, Johnson. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing again, Murray. And incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Murray to air it out again. He'll buy some time, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. Now, I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this, and all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. I'm here.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Ready? 43. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
first down. It's Carson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's got the tight end, Vanette. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Murray now on first down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Throwing on first down is Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray, that's going to be caught by Kirk. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On first down, Murray. Looking left sideline, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And the catch made by Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying to take away other people, or they weren't expecting him to get off to such a hot start. But now...
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Cardinals on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Murray and company going for it on 4th. And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald there to make the grab. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. He'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson to throw again. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. But probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Tight end left, blitz.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. This is Carson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Don't get nervous.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Shotgun now from Murray. He finds his man Johnson. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles Clay has tied in the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Murray now sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cassius Marsh, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Murray. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Murray. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Murray. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And this is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. And out now come the Seahawks. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
On 1st down, Carson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson. And down inside the 15 he goes. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
He's coming. We got
Now a give right side. Carson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. They run it with Carson. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Murray now on 1st down. This complete to the tight end, Clay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals 1st down as well.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. And quickly they get to the line. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Complete. It's Johnson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Seahawks 36-yard line.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.